Hello everybody, and today we are here with another board game review. Today we'll be reviewing Galaxy Trucker.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will be telling you that why you should play Galaxy Trucker Revised Edition. This is essentially the same game as the previous Galaxy Trucker, but that game has been out of print for a very long time. And if you're looking for some updated visual and a lower cost price, then this is a much friendlier, family friendlier version of the game. Plus it adds option to reduce the time of gameplay, which is again a better option for families as well. So this is the only version available in the market right now. So if you're looking for, this is definitely the better version. This review is not going to cover the differences between the version, but just understand this is definitely the better and the cheaper version, even though the tile size is slightly small. But other than that, in every other way, you are going to find this in a better way than the other one. Now with that caveat out of the way, let's start with the review of the game.
Well, you are working for a company who refuses to reveal their name, who basically works for the toilet industry. You are supposed to ship toilets and toilet pipes, whatever they're called, to other planets.
Well, and from that actually, those who are familiar with Vlada Chvátil games will be familiar that how much funny things he adds into his rule books, even though that's not actually the theme of the game.
You may not many people do this. They only read the rule books for how to play the game, but do read the full rule book. It's amazing.
Yeah, because again, this rule book is not meant to be. Well, this is just a quick reference guide.
Even the components.
This rule book is the game theme is about trucking in a galaxy. So you're supposed to take your truck as well as some of the cargo that you are given from one place to another, survive the trip, but you are not going to be able to survive and your ship is not going to be able to survive. So why does your ship need to be able to survive? And that's where the funny elements in the rule book has been added to give it a theme of that you are taking the portable cabins in the form of a ship, components of those cabins in the form of a ship back. So the ship itself is
a toilet.
is a cargo which you need to deliver. So the better the ship that reaches in the end, the better will be the payout. And whoever has more payout in the end is going to be the winner. But on the way you will be facing asteroids, you will be facing pirates, abandoned shipwrecks, you will get some cargo to pick up which will add additional bonus points or bonus money for you, and those things are going to actually help you or make trouble for you. And how this game is going to actually work is that this is a tile placement game, but tile placement is the first part of the game, and then there is a second part where you get to blow up your tiles, which is the fun part. And if you don't like chaos in your games, if you like more calculated Euro games where your decisions are very deterministic, then this might not be for you. This is right now making it clear. Now what you're going to receive is a bunch of tiles which will be face down. So let's go through the first phase of the game. In the first phase, you will be picking up once the timer starts. Well, there is in essence no timer. It's up to the players that how long the first player is going to take time. Everyone will be building their ship, but the first player can declare or whoever finishes their ship first can declare that he's the first player, and then he flips the sand timer to declare that now the time limit has started.
I just want to say,
and others will have to complete their ship within the given time. Yes.
do not use this.
Well, we have to. So what you will be doing?
Everyone
will be simultaneously picking up tiles, flipping them over. So the rule says that you cannot flip it over until you bring it above your board. Flip it, and then you will see that starting tiles are here, Everyone will start with one starting tile in the center. That's your main cabin, and the next tile that you will pick up, you can either keep it or discard it, and that's the only two options that you have. The If you want to keep it, you need to connect it to your existing ship. If that's not really the kind of component that you need to discard it openly, face up in a common area where others can see what component it is. Don't discard it in the open area, so that now anyone else can now pick up from the face down pile as well as from the face up pile from there, and even the same player who discarded that tile can later on pick up that tile from over there as well.
Coming back for you.
Yes, so that adds more options as the players keep on going. Now what you are trying to look for these tiles, I'm not going to go deep into the rules of the tiles that are available, but what you are trying to do is have some kind of different components build up your ship. Those components will be, you want some guns in the front of your ship ideally, so that if you are faced with pirates or asteroids, you can blow them up. You want more engines on the back side of your ship, so that the faster you can fly, the more faster you fly, the you will get the first dibs on the loot that you are going to get. Plus there is a race element to the game as well. Whoever finishes first, that is delivers their cargo first, is going to get more points or money. So that's why the engines are important. Then there are there are cabins for the crew. Why cabins are, you keep on building. There are cabins for crew. Why you need cabins? So that you can have more astronauts on your ship. The more astronauts you have, well, when the slavers will come, you need to give them something. So rather than discarding cargo, you can give them your astronauts. And many times to complete mission, you will need astronauts to be there to fly your ship as well. If no astronaut is left on your ship, you immediately lose as well that run of the ship. Then there can be other elements which are like batteries. There are certain enhanced components, enhanced lasers, enhanced engines, which only work if you have enough batteries, which are disposable components in the game. Lastly, you will be finding you will be finding cargo containers of different colors. There are two colors. One can have all the basic kind of cargo, and the other red containers can have radioactive cargo stored, which is the more precious cargo stored in them, which will let you have more cargo. And as I said, the more cargo you deliver, the more things you can, more points you will get. And lastly will be just some connectors. If you just want things to connect to each other, although they will waste space on your ship, but sometimes maybe that's the only thing that fits somewhere, and you can have connector. Each of the tiles are going to have. Now you might be thinking, well, that's so simple, we will just fill the ship with all of these different components, but it's not going to be that easy, because there are different shape of connectors with each of these components in different orientations. So a single connector will connect with a single connector only, a dual connector will connect with a dual connector, and the third one is the universal connector, which is shown with 3 faces. That can connect to anything. It can connect to a single connector, so they are more precious, but of course they are more limited as well. Many times the ships will have connectors in orientations which you don't really need, so you can spin the tile as you want, but of course an engine should be facing outward rather than towards your ship. That doesn't make sense. Similarly, the laser should be pointing outward rather than your ship, but the connectors may not be supporting that based on your current orientation. Plus, when you're making your ship, you need to connect to the existing components of your ship. You cannot leave a connector in space out there somewhere. And that's how people will continue. So for example, Ishal has built this spaceship up till now using the connector rules. Of course, I see one more component, which is the shield type. So shields will help you protect against small asteroids and things like that, where you can discharge a battery, turn on the shield, and get yourself protected from it. Now once Ishal is ready, she can say anytime, even she doesn't have to complete her ship, but she can see that she is in a much better position than other players. She can flip the sand timer, and now everyone knows that now the sand timer has started. This board, which is going to track the race as well as many other things, is going to show multiple points or multiple steps in which you have to flip these sand timers. This is what I'm showing you is a level 1 kind of race, but with the game comes level 2 as well as level 3 boards as well, which are used for much harder race, so they have more timer times as well as bigger race components as well. Plus what these boards are also going to tell you is that what kind of difficulty is going to come. So for example, this board is right now able to tell me that I have to take from these decks of difficulties or hazards that I'm going to face 2 hazard 1 cards and place them in each of these sections. So this will be done before the game starts or this tile placement action starts. So in this way you will be setting up the deck. If we go to level 2, it will tell on the board that you have to take a mix of level 2 cards and level 1 cards, shuffle them up. If we go to level 3, it will tell how many level 3, how many level 2, how many level 1 to mix up. You follow those instructions. Once you have followed them, one of the things during tile placement, one of the any player can do is, rather than placing the tile, instead of looking except this, they can look at any one of these piles. So they can look secretly. They have some idea what hazards they are going to face. This gives them some information how or what encounter they are going to face, and accordingly build their ship accordingly. They can take another turn to see what other hazards they are going to face, and another. Once the timer has finished 2 times or based on whatever level you are playing, everyone will stop. So it shall stop. Now if at that time there is a reserve section also where you can reserve maximum up to 2 tiles. If you still had not used any reserve tile, that will go to waste, so you are going to be charged from your salary negative money for any wasted components that you took on a contract for delivering a component and you wasted it. So you will keep those components as well. Now all these cards will be taken and they will be shuffled. So the players have an idea of some of the hazards that are going to come, but some cards are always locked and you will never know that all the hazards that you're going to face and in which order they might be coming. Now once the race starts, whoever was the first player, they will get to place their ship on any of these starting spaces. Maybe they want to place, and these are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 based on the 4 players. Maybe they want to go first. There are advantages and disadvantages of both. There are more advantages and less disadvantages. The advantages being you are front in the race, you will get first dibs, plus you will get to, if you are able to maintain that position till the end, then you are going to get more money for completing first. The only disadvantage is that whenever pirates or slavers will come, they will attack your ship first before encountering anyone else. And if you are able to defeat them, others don't even get to encounter them because you defeated them. So that's why
That's called cheating.
you have to take a decision as a first player. You want to go in the first or you want to go start back. So let's say Ishal decided. Then I get to decide where I want to start. So let's say I decided I want to start from the second position. And now the second phase of the game will begin. Based on whatever the ship has been made, players are going to check each other's ships for any illegal connections. So just like I said that there has to be legal connections, there should be no floating components, there should be no one connector connecting to a 2 connector because they cannot connect to each other. Once they check that yes, you have legal connections, then everyone is going to get astronauts and batteries based on how many components that they have placed. So for example, Ishal has 2 cabins. So each cabin can hold 2 astronauts. She's going to get a total of 4 astronauts. She has 4 battery sections. So she's going to get these nice green batteries, 2 here.
They're really nice to just
Yeah.
have in your hand.
The components are really nice. Do note that I have put these in different containers. These containers do not come with a game. I'm just keeping them so that it's easy for us to play around. Now, one of the things which I'm not explaining because I'm not going deep into rule is that instead of astronauts, you could have placed even alien astronauts as well. That's a decision for the players that they can take alien astronauts. They give some special powers to player, but also there are some disadvantages to them as well. So it's up to players that how they want to do. Similar will be done for my ship, which is currently not a flyable stage because I don't have any engines or guns or anything. But anyway, that's what will be done. So let's say I'm flying with this.
This is like one of the things you use for the aliens.
Yeah, there will be advanced styles. Thankfully, the game does come with a practice mode and it tells which components not to use in the practice mode so that you get the familiarity with the easy mode first before you go into the full rules. Now, once your ships are ready, then you are going to start flipping these cards. So when the first card will be flipped, everyone is going to see what is going to happen. So for example, abandoned station. So there is going to be a condition on the card. For example, it says that to pick up the cargo, there is a yellow and green cargo. You need to have a ship with at least 5 crew members. Neither Ishal nor me are going to have 5 crew members because we didn't complete our ships. But if there were 5 crew members, Ishal could have picked up those cargos. So let's assume Ishal was in a state of that this cabin was there as well, and she had, let's say, 6 crew members. Then she could have sent those 5 crew members to pick up this. Now what it says is you will spend 1 day, so she will move back 1 to pick up a yellow and a green cargo, which are represented by these gelatin like cube. Now it's up to her that she have different cabins where she wants to place. She can distribute them, she can put them on the same tile. Where you place them, it's going to be very important, as you will see soon enough. Then open space is going to come. What open space lets you do is that based on number of engines, you get to move that many spaces because that's the time you get to move ahead. So for example, Ishal has 1, 2 and 3 spaces. So she will move first, 1, 2, 3. My spaceship has only 1 engine and I have just 2 astronauts and an engine. Again open space. So again Ishal moves 3, I move only 1. Okay, now the combat zone has come. So first of all, the combat zones are resolved based upon different conditions. So for example, the player who has the least number of crew, which is me, is going to go back 3 spaces because they were busy in some combat. The player who has least engine, their 2 astronauts are killed, so my all astronauts are killed. The player who has the least guns, which is my ship, are going to be attacked by different asteroids. So my spaceship is completely gone. But then there can be things like planets, and planets, again, it will let you spend some of the time, go back on the track, but pick up different cargoes. You will get options of multiple planets, and you can choose which planet you're going to go for. The other player cannot choose the same. There can be things like meteor storm. How does the meteor storm or laser blast work? Let's take Ishal's ship for example. This is everyone is going to face. So for example, if I was still alive and in the game,
somehow.
Then you're going to actually use the dice to determine what's going to happen. So on the edges of each of the board, there are different numbers shown. So for rows and columns, so for example, so row number 5, these are meteors, these are coming from the top. So in row number 5, the meteor is going to hit. So this is row number 5. So Ishal's cargo is going to get hit and going to get destroyed. I have nothing here, so I don't get hit by anything. Then a small one is going to come. It's going to come in the 6th column. In the 6th column, the small one, if it was a smooth shape, not an open connector, then it will just bump off the ship. But Ishal has
Let me finish.
Ishal has an open connector here, so it will hit this cargo section as well, and this
Now
will
both
go,
of my cargoes are gone.
and she will have to pay negative fine for these things that are. I don't have anything, so no penalty for me. Then the
You should have
last
let me finish my ship.
number 5. Well, before actually number 5, this now piece is left floating in the air, so this will automatically get destroyed as well. So anything which doesn't have a connection to another part of the ship also gets blown, and that's how the different attacks work.
Oh my god, this is good.
Then, for example, pirates are going to come and attack. If you have 5 guns, you can defeat them. Ishal doesn't have 5 guns. Ishal is in the start, so they are going to fire on Ishal. So let's see what they are firing. Number 5, safe,
Gone.
because that is already blown up. Number 4,
Safe.
safe. 3, safe. And that's it.
The stupid running.
Now, slavers have come. So unless Ishal has 6, and they are going to attack Ishal first, unless Ishal has 6 guns, they are going to take 3 people as slaves.
Sure, take them.
And that's how the game will work. Different times she could have used her battery to operate the shield, to bump off small kind of asteroids, and those things are actually shown on the board as well. That small asteroids can be bumped off by smooth surfaces as well as shield. Bigger, if you have a gun in line, then they can blow that off. Big laser fire can never be defended. Small laser fire can be defended by a shield as well. So there are different things shown on the board. Now once all the cards have been finished, then the race finishes, at least for level 1.
I still won, I think.
At that time, you will be, first thing that will be checked is that who was first. Ishal is first, so Ishal is going to get, for example, 4 money for finishing first. The second player is going to get 3, so I'm still going to get 3 if I had a crew.
I win.
So whoever made it alive, which cargo you were able to deliver, you will get money based on that. How many destroyed components you have, you are going to pay -1 for each of the destroyed components.
So I have
So -3 for those as well.
1.
She didn't deliver any cargo because all of it was blown. So not much money was gained. And in this way, that was a single round. You can just stop now, and that would be enough of a game as well. But how the original Galaxy Trucker works, as well as the more advanced mode within this version works, is that now once you have done with the first level of the game, you will be now switching to ship number 2, which is on the back side of the board. You will be taking now the second board and doing the race on this. More advanced cards are going to come, more advanced hazards are going to come. You will be given more time to build this because it's a bigger ship. But a bigger ship also means a smaller ship is easy to defend as well, because many times the dice will roll and nothing will hit on it. But when you have a bigger ship, there is more probability it will get hit. Once you are done with the second, you will get to upgrade to a third level ship, which is double the size of all the ships.
Oh my.
And you can play just level 3, you can play 1, 2, 3. If you play 1, 2 and 3, there is a long campaign mode as well, which actually comes with these kind of advanced tiles as well, or achievements, which are going to not only give you big rewards but also create handicaps for players who are performing good. So they are able to get higher rewards, but they also create problems for them. So for example, if a player has maximum batteries, he's going to get this reward, but if he's able to maintain it for the next round as well, he's going to change it to a golden reward. If he continues to keep it, but then some hazards are going to be applied, some limitations are going to be applied to him, can he still retain that reward? Those kind of things. So these rewards, the rulebook gives a clear explanation of these, what these different symbols mean and what these different reward tiers are. For each of the tiles, there is a quick reference guide available. The rulebook itself is funny enough that you are going to enjoy your time reading through the rules. And that's what Galaxy Trucker is. The money is really nice, chunky cardboard tokens rather than any paper money or something. So you can distribute these to players to keep track from level to level what money they are earning, and that's how you determine who is going to be the winner. Component wise, the game does a very nice job. Some of these tiles may feel thin and small, but they work just fine. And to keep the cost low, I think this is perfectly what you need. They don't hinder you playing. They are not so thin that it's a problem of picking them up. The gelatin cubes are nice, the astronauts are fine. So everything in the game is good enough. The replayability of this game is going to be high as well, because every time you're going to mix different set of cards to make up the difficulty of the game. So you never know that what hazards you are going to face this time. When you are playing through a level 3 mission, you would pick up different level 3 cards, different level 2 cards and different level 1 cards to make up your deck of hazards, which adds more options of replayability. And if that's not all, then there is a
Expansion pack
expansion
called,
app expansion app called Rocky Roads or Rough Roads.
Rocky Roads.
Rocky Roads? Rough Roads.
What?
It's called Rough Roads. So it's given on the back side of the page. It's a website, a web app, which you can use, which is going to add cards. These were available as printable cards before, but now it's a web-based app. So you can click and add more difficulty to your game. If you think your ships are remaining fine, just ramp up the difficulty by adding 1, 2, 3 or more cards to your game, and it will ramp up the difficulty much more, adding more hazards to the game. And that's what Galaxy Trucker is. So Ishal, what do you think about the game?
The game is really fun. It's really funny actually, and pretty simple for me because I don't like really complex games.
Now, overall, this is going to be a dumb and funny game. You're going to enjoy making your ships. People want to make beautiful ships, have all the kind of things they want, but you will never be able to complete all your ships. The timer on top is going to add more fun. So do play with that. Do add with that tension that any player can start the timer at any time.
I mean, it's better than hitting someone on the head with a box.
You can, so that you don't complete your ships. You have open-ended connections. You have disconnected joints in your ship, and once it blows, you will be seeing whole chunk of, initially at least, you will be seeing problems in your ship when whole chunks of your ship blow away because the intermediate connector part got blown off because of,
this looks like a heart, like a pixel heart,
because you didn't design it properly. And that's going to be the funny thing. Now, if, as I mentioned in the start, if you don't like some chaos in your games, you're not going to enjoy this. If you think random chaos is not fun, then this game is not going to be your liking. But to me, this is pure fun. And
I
if
like
you
chaos.
enjoy fun, then this game comes from us as a high recommendation. So Galaxy Trucker, 2 thumbs up.
If
Happy
I
gaming.
had a third one, I would give it.
Happy gaming.
No. Happy gaming.